So on one hand, we're sort of dismantling a few of these disciplines bit by bit as artists are working across them. Then on the other hand, one thing I've noticed as someone who, again, was only versed in one or two of them and not the 9, 10, 11 that USA funds in, is that they're each really unique with their own sets of problems, right? So there are conversations happening around issues of racial equity in the arts that are super different than the way that that conversation is being navigated in writing or in craft, right? There are different meccas for these places, and as a result, the financial or economic infrastructure of each of these disciplines is radically different. So how architecture handles money is super different than how film manages it. The ways that artists can be taken advantage of in some of these disciplines is, again, radically different. So I think each of those disciplines comes with their own set of frustrations, but also each of them is kind of like innovating and pushing and questioning things about their own disciplines. And I think that's because there's new bodies being invited into these spaces that hadn't been there prior. So one thing we're wondering a little bit at USA is historically, we treat these things like totally siloed disciplines, and we're wondering about new infrastructures to bring all of these disciplines together so that they can learn from one another. Because I think what we're seeing is like, to get the United States and to get the cultural sector in particular to a better place, we have to start like everywhere at once. Like there's too many problems, and we can't just make a list and then sort of treat them in a linear or chronological way. So for example, we have panelists pick our artists, right? These experts and other artists in the field that kind of meet and determine who will win the award. And historically, they all meet privately. And for the first time, we're hoping next year that we can invite them all to meet at the same time, right? So like, what is it to bring 30 American cultural practitioners in a room together who oftentimes don't know who one another are? Like the architects don't always know the writers don't always know the musicians, et cetera, to see if they can learn a little bit about each other.